right. So this is the third lesson. And tomorrow we are meeting at 9, same
Oh,
time
okay.
to you're still
Uh,
okay with that, right?
I cannot come because I have another class at 9 tomorrow.
I see. So Tuesday
Yeah.
doesn't work with you.
No, it's better to do it on Wednesday morning for me.
Okay, Wednesday morning works with me perfectly well. Let's do it
Okay.
on Wednesday morning. Since you're
Okay.
the only um,
Yeah.
attending the class today,
Yeah.
let's shift it.
And some of the other students who are in this class also have the same class tomorrow at 9. So I think yeah. Okay, so Wednesday.
Let's shift it to Wednesday. Okay.
Great.
Mm, the only thing I'd say, once again, I want you to prepare is
Hmm.
actually to read the textbook.
Hmm.
The textbook is analyzing meaning. It is
Hmm.
uploaded on Workflowy. For this lesson today, situation types, we take another workbook, another textbook as well, Kate Curran's Semantics. She puts certain things better than Kruger. So it is uploaded on Workflowy as well.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Uh, Checking your understanding. Oh, you're not alone anymore. One moment. Walter came. Uh, just on time for the review. Uh, can you explain me? Does sense determine reference or does reference determine sense? That's from our previous lesson. And in what sense, so to say?
Mm.
Do you remember anything about?
Well, I mean, I remember that sense is like the general meaning of something, and the reference is more specific to
Uh,
to particular context.
yeah, so we
Um,
have a word and we have a symbol and we have a referent, right?
mhm,
So sense is a symbol and reference is a referent.
mhm.
And what do you think? Does sense determine reference or reference determine sense?
Well, the reference has to have a sense in order for it to be understood. Um,
Mhm.
uh,
Do we have senses without reference?
yes,
So what do you say? Sense comes first or reference?
sense.
Sense.
Sense comes first. And do you remember what do we call co-referential expressions?
Um,
Two
is
expressions that have the same sense.
Two two references,
Or
right? That
reference.
have this, yeah, the same sense. Mm,
uh,
like, can you give me an example? We were talking about names for apostles.
like
Yeah, the
Cephas and Petros.
indeed,
They're both referring to the same person.
indeed, they are co-referential expression. Now, next thing, how do we diagnose polysemy and homonymy? Do you remember we were talking about diagnostic tests?
Yeah. Um, well, polysemy is when there's many meanings, and homonymy
Homonymy, homonymy,
is the is the same. I don't know, is it the same word but has different meanings?
Mm-hmm. And well, okay, different senses, right? And
Yeah.
we have diagnostic tests. This is the term which I want you to remember. We have diagnostic tests, and that's what helps us practically
Hmm.
when we analyze the text, right? And we have three tests for polysemy versus homonymy. We have etymology test. Do all senses derive from a single historical source or not? It's polysemy if yes, it's homonymy if not. Uh, the second one is definition test. Can we abstract definition that would subsume all senses? Polysemy if yes, inconclusive if no. And Zugma test. Yeah, can both reading be conjoined naturally in one sentence? Like she went to the bank and so did her check. Oh, not good, right? Homonymy. Or distant polysemy, maybe. Yeah, homonymy if awkward. These are diagnostic tests. That's what we call diagnostic tests.
What is the test determining, or what is being diagnosed?
We were trying to understand which situation we have in the text. We are looking at the context and we're trying to understand what kind of term this is.
I see.
Tests help us prove that this is indeed polysemy or this is indeed homonymy. Okay, this is what tests do.
Okay, and
And
then
well, yeah.
and the purpose for determining the polysemy versus homonymy is um, understanding
Uh,
what sense a word has in a context.
yes, we're analyzing the verb, the cloud of meanings of the verb.
Okay.
We have words that might include a lot of semes, okay?
Hmm.
Small pieces of meanings, seme, okay?
Hmm.
I'll write this probably last time I just pronounced it and okay, we have a semi, a small part of the meaning,
Hmm.
and we have a semim. This is the same as lexeme, but on the semantic level. Okay, the unit of language on the semantic level. It's like, you know, we have a phone. Yes, it should be this way. And we have a phoneme on the phonology level, right? And
So
mhm.
is a seme, is that a prefix, and a sememe is a word?
No, they are both words. Uh,
Oh,
do you know the difference between a phone and phoneme? No,
no.
allophone.
Don't.
It's like the realization, concrete realization of a certain linguistic unit. Uh, for example, we have a phoneme uh, A, and in different English accent, it can be A, different realizations, okay? So this is the concrete realization, and this is the linguistic unit. Like lexeme is a linguistic unit, and we have this on every level of language. I mean, morpheme, yeah, then we have a morph, and we have a morpheme. Yeah, morpheme is a language unit, and morph is the concrete realization. And the same happens on the semantics unit, semantics level. Seme is a concrete realization, a small part. The exact meaning in the context while you're pronouncing it in the utterance. And sememe is the unit of the language. So we might have several semes in a sememe. It's like a cloud. One moment. I'll try to draw it. It's like we have a cloud of small parts of words, like, let's say, the sky. Just looking at the sky. An air around the earth. This seam. Like air around the earth. This seam. A blue, something blue on a picture of a painter. We call it the sky still, right? Something blue. You see, they're different. They are not the same, but they have the same sense, the sky, and they are part of this sememe. They're both included into this big understanding of the term the sky. Okay? As like with phoneme A. Phoneme A is a cloud, which contains phones like A, and so on and so forth. That's just first thing that came to my mind. I didn't prepare that, so excuse me if anything is not exactly correct. But it works this way, okay? We have smaller parts in a bigger language unit on every level of language. Phonetics, morphology, lexicology, semantics, syntax as well. Okay, in syntax we have words and sentences. No, that's not that. Syntaxeme. It's more complicated on syntax level. Okay, but with the meanings, it's quite easy to see opening the dictionary. Okay, in a dictionary you can see that a word can have different meanings, yeah, in different contexts. Let's stay with that. And different meanings might be closer to each other, like those two, okay? Or they might be more distant. And that's what we call distant polysemy over here. So sometimes, particularly in lexicological studies, we need to tell if this word is the same or these are two different words. Okay, nothing comes to my mind fast enough. From Russian, we have look as borrowed from English appearance, and we have look as onion, and we have look as a bow, an arrow. And we need to understand, are they the same word, or are they completely different words? The same meaning or different? The same cloud or different clouds? That's actually what polysemy and homonymy are about. Same cloud or different clouds of meanings. So for lexicological studies, we have to, for lexical semantics, we have to do those diagnostic tests to understand if it is one cloud or two or several clouds.
So it's doing the tests in order to organize information about words.
Yes.
Okay.
For example, you're a lexicologist, you're studying a text and you're preparing a dictionary for this text, a vocabulary pack. And you explain to your students, for example, that this exact word, bank, for example, means a riverbank. But for them not to be confused, you explain that this is a homonymous word. When you study ancient texts, it's not that obvious as in English, with English, right? Particularly when you're not a native speaker of ancient Greek, for example. You have to run certain tests to prove that you're indeed correct with the definition of certain terms, okay? That you understood it correctly, that this word is indeed polysomers in different contexts. So someone in distant past, it was one word, one meaning, it just radiates like logos. Or there are two different words that come to the language, to the tests you study from different sources. Sometimes this is important when you study an ancient text, right? So this is a very practical thing, diagnostic tests. That's what you actually supposed to learn how to use. That's what you actually take away from the course. Right. So diagnostic tests. This is the material of previous lessons, so we're not going to stay long on that. I was going to ask you as, well, particularly Ham as native speaker, what would be the semantic feature matrix? Do you remember semantic features plus male minus male plus woman minus woman. Okay? For the words bull, cow, calf, and cattle. You need to decide what features are relevant for distinguishing those senses. What would you say?
So, male, female,
Right?
young, mature,
Exactly.
singular and plural.
Probably, yeah. And we might organize it in this way.
Yeah.
Okay? They all have this sense, they're all bovine, plus bovine. Two of them are grown up, so plus adult. One of them is minus adult, and one of them is unspecified for this meaning. Bull is plus male, cow is minus male. Minus male meaning she's not male, she's female. She is well, it is specified for this feature. But calf and cattle are not specified, unspecified for being a male. Might be both male and female, we don't know. Okay, same with female. The cow is specified with plus, bull is specified with minus, and calf and cattle are unspecified. And we might have this plus collective feature. And bull, cow, calf are minus collective. They are individuals, and we know that they are individuals. And the cattle, cattle is plus collective. So we just add this meaning, add this feature. Actually, these are features. And then we get to the meaning cattle. We take the bull, we plus collective, and we get to the cattle. So that was to remind you about semantic features. In semantics, we work with semantic features. This is another important, really important term. Okay. Okay, and now we're coming to the today's lecture. Much time? Oh dear, we took too much time, I guess, but still. Right. In lesson 1 and 2, we studied the static architecture of the vocabulary, how words carry sense and reference, how they cluster into semantic fields, and how their meanings can be decomposed into smaller featural components. Today and later, we shift from the vocabulary of nouns to the vocabulary of verbs, and we ask a new kind of question. How does language encode time? More precisely, how does the internal shape of an event or situation, the way it unfolds, whether it has a natural endpoint, whether it lasts or is instantaneous, get encoded in the structure of the sentence? Tense and aspect are the two main grammatical categories devoted to this task, and they work in different ways. As Analyzing Meaning, our textbook puts it, tense markers tell us something about the situation's location in time, while aspect markers tell us something about the situation's distribution over time. Kate Kearns, in her semantics textbook, as I said, for this topic, we take another textbook, Kearns Semantics. It's uploaded on the workflow. she states the same distinction. Tense locates the whole event or situation on the timeline in the past, present, or future, while aspect presents the reported event either as viewed from inside in progress or from outside as a whole. Okay, so today we concentrate on the first building block, not yet on tense or grammatical aspect markers, but on the underlying temporal structure of the situations themselves. This is the domain of Aktionsart. This is a German term used in semantics, which means action type. It is also called situation aspect or lexical aspect. We are going to use the term eventuality. Do I have it here? Probably not. It is eventuality. Oh dear, sorry. One moment. Eventuality. We're going to use this term, which covers both states and events neutrally, and we will use eventuality as our umbrella term. Okay, we're going to introduce today, I hope we'll have time, the framework of tense operators and Reichenbach's speech referent event analysis, which gives us the formal tools to locate eventualities. One moment, take this away. Eventualities on the timeline and to distinguish the major tense forms. Well, I'm going to use English terms here because it's easier, but I'll try to use Greek and Hebrew and Latin examples as well. Right. Now, there is this question. When Hebrew a Hebrew text says ukatav in one verse, and ukatav et sefer, he wrote the book, in the next verse. Is this the same kind of event or not? Hold this question. You're going to know the answer in the end. Right. Now, we come to the situation types. It is called the Wendlerian classification. Wait, I should show you the word Wendlerian classification, because Wendler was the philosopher who studied the term. Right. And the first and most fundamental distinction is between states and events. A state is a situation which is homogeneous over time. It is construed as being the same at every instant within the time span being described. If you take a video of a state, it will look like a snapshot because nothing changes. An event, by contrast, is a situation which is not homogeneous over time. It involves some kind of change, and so it is dynamic or internally complex. Right? So states are internally uniform, one moment being much like another and having no forward movement or natural beginning or end. States are, for example, to know the answer, or to believe in UFOs, or to be hungry. I I'm hungry. This is a state. I'm in the kitchen. This is a state. I'm going. This is an event. I am listening to a lecture. This is an event. So states, an event. To do or to be, actually, this difference. And we have the three diagnostic tests for that, which will help us distinguish states from events. First is the what happened test. Only eventive predicates can felicitously answer the question what happened. For example, what happened? Mary kissed the bishop. It works, right? It's good. But what happened? Sally was Irish. Does not. It's not about what happened. It's not an event. It's a state. Now, the progressive test. Only eventive predicates take the progressive naturally. Mary is kissing the bishop is good. This is what is happening now. William is having a headache. Is not quite, well, you tell us native speaker, right? If it's good or not. William is having a headache. I was told that it's not. We must say William has a headache, right?
Right.
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 So it is important that states which do take the progressive in English, like we are living in London, carry an implication of temporariness as a process, okay? And the third test is the simple present, or it's also called habitual test. Event verbs in the simple present receive a habitual interpretation. For example, Peter sings Cantonese folk songs. Peter does so regularly, now and again. Whereas states in the simple present simply report current facts. William has a headache does not mean he gets headaches regularly. Okay, Peter sings means Peter does it now and again, regularly. William has a headache. He has it now. He's in this state. It doesn't mean that he gets headaches regularly. Okay, we're good here?
So Peter sings as a state.
No. Peter sings is an event
Oh, it's an event.
because events in simple present receive habitual interpretation. Okay, they got this regularly regular events meaning. This is what we call habitual. Yeah, you good? It's a term. It's a linguistic term. So I'm not sure it coincides what you understand as a native speaker and a habitual. Does it?
Yeah.
Do you know the word? Are you good with that? I
Yeah.
mean, I know it's a term, yeah, but I usually not use it in my colloquial English, so I don't know. Right. So we have eventive predicates that go habitual in simple present, and we have stative predicates, states, that in simple present are just facts. So if you get a habitual interpretation, then it's an event. If it's just a current fact, it's a state. Are we good here?
What about Um, Peter is singing. It's still an event?
It's not a testing context, right? In order to use simple present test, you have to put the verb, the predicate, into simple present, not into progressive. Okay?
Okay.
Right.
One question. If
Mhm.
we apply the three questions, and if in the three we got a yes, we can say this is a like state or event distinction,
Yes.
or only one of the three is enough.
Uh,
And I also ask
well,
because this concept is very important, especially in biblical Hebrew, when we have the state verbs that have a special conjugation, and many times we're not sure if it is or not. For example, the verb lobesh, to dress. Some of these tests can pass and others don't, and it's considered stative. And also,
um,
this can change
mhm.
in languages, right? In one language can be another, no? But
It might be language specific, yeah. I mean, indeed, languages might work differently with events and states. Um, but the distinction between events and states is universal. In every language, we have this meaning when you are in a state, in a certain state. In every language, we have this meaning that it is something what happens. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't. It's not that you must apply all three tests, but those three tests, each of them, are helpful to distinguish events from states. So you just apply it and look if it works or not.
So,
And mhm, mhm.
um, if I said it rains, then
What happened?
that's what happened. Okay.
Okay, what do you say? What happened?
Okay.
It rained.
I
And
mean,
again,
yeah.
yeah,
Sorry. Well,
it's
I'm just
okay.
trying to think. I'm trying to think of um, putting the simple, like, how would I tell it's not an event in the simple? um, It seems like there's just there are certain verbs which are much more associated with states than events.
Indeed, it is a lexical feature. It
Mhm.
is a lexical feature. It is lexical semantics. Certain predicates has this feature, this part of the meaning. It
I
is
see.
a state. And other predicates, other verbs do not have this feature. So
Mhm.
it is lexical. Indeed,
I see.
it's a on dictionary level.
Okay.
Mhm. In different languages, grammatical means might be different for events and states. For example, when we teach English to kids, we explain that states do not stand in progressive, do not take this ing ending, right?
Mhm.
Like to know, well, I'm loving it is a famous mistake, right?
Mhm.
Um, not an event. So sometimes uh, it helps to explain how a language works. For example, to find different grammatical means, depending on if it's a state or event. Okay?
What is wrong
Mhm.
with the I'm loving it? It should be I love it.
Mhm. It's a mistake. Well, it's a very famous mistake,
Yeah.
but
Well, what's the
well,
mistake?
to love, to know,
Mhm.
to hate are states, stative verbs, and they do not take progressive. We cannot say I'm knowing. We cannot say I'm hating. Well, again, if we use progressive with those stative verbs, well, I'm explaining English, right? I'm really scared right now to a native speaker. Okay, but as an English teacher would
Uh-huh.
explain it, stative verbs cannot take a progressive form. So we cannot say I'm knowing, we cannot say I'm hating. We say I know, I hate it, not I'm hating it right now. But when you put it, when you apply progressive means, grammatical means to it, okay, ending form, then you actually make a stative verb an inventive one. So you sort of convert a state into an event if you using it progressively. And it gives us the additional meaning of temporariness and of a process. So I'm hating it right now. It's a process that started several minutes ago and is going on now and will be finished in several meanings. Okay? I'm hating it. I'm loving it. And when McDonald's uses this, I'm loving it. He deliberately makes this mistake to underline the process of eating burgers and having pleasure. So it's a deliberate mistake and a very famous example of it. Okay. So next thing.
Just to make sure, in the first test, if I answer with past tense, in the test is considered eventive. But if it is answered with present, it's considered
No.
no.
If you ask this question, what happened? And you answer using this verb, using this predicate. If it sounds good, if it's a good sentence, no mistakes, then it is eventive. If it is a mistake, we cannot say, what happened? He knows or he knew what happened. It's not the answer for this question. You cannot answer he knew to the question what happened. You get a mistake in return when you apply this verb as an answer to this question what happened. You get a mistake in return. So it doesn't work. Okay? And if it
Understand.
doesn't work, then it is stative. If you get a mistake, it is stative. If, sorry, if it is good, if it works, it is eventive. Okay, are we good here? Yeah, yeah, right.
Mhm.
Okay, we have this in our textbooks, both of them, so you can read it, and I insist that you read the textbook, and this is the only thing I insist on. Yeah, so you can think more about these tests, and you can ask questions. Okay.
When does the use of how is it determined that something is considered a mistake? I mean, because like you said that, I mean, McDonald's, like that was very deliberate because it's it stands out because of the way that we use language, and it does capture this experience. And so I don't know, it seems like it's a mistake to call it a mistake only because it's like the nature of language is to make those mistakes deliberately because there's a rhetorical force behind it. But
Indeed. Mhm.
that's what a good rhetorician does. He's always stretching the meaning because it will catch someone's attention in a way that they're like, oh, it stands out.
Indeed. That's what we do in poetry, in rhetorics, all the time. We use deliberate mistakes. We actually discussed it, I guess, last lesson, or maybe the first lesson, that mistakes is a very powerful rhetoric theme, right? Rhetoric means, of course. But
Right.
as a linguist, when you are working on a vocabulary or a grammar of a language, and you have to determine the rules, or you have to realize how to explain to non-native speakers, then you have to go into those nuances and explain why I'm loving it is a mistake, and uh,
Well,
I yeah.
I
Mhm.
guess I don't understand why. Because I mean, when I was teaching languages, and I studied grammar, and then you read things and you realize that there are things that break the grammatical rules all the time. And I, I, I mean, so I think, like, when I explain it, I would just say this is a very common way of expressing this part of language, but it's not. It seems to me like it's a mistake to say anything about it being absolute, but grammar is just recognizing common patterns and being able to share the most common patterns in the language so that because
Indeed.
the familiarity with the common patterns is a fast way to just encounter those common patterns.
For sure, yes. But you, well, yes. Though sometimes we have to explain, and what linguists actually do, that's our work, is to determine what's the difference and why I'm learning is a mistake, or to catch the moment when I'm learning it. Uh, like loses its state of mistake, becomes a good thing. I mean,
Mhm.
we have this language change, right? And with time, certain mistakes might go, grammar changes, semantics changes, everything in language changes. It's a flow. So sometimes we have to understand as linguists, I mean, to understand what kind of semantics we had like 3 centuries ago and now in biblical Hebrew and in modern Hebrew. And what's the difference? And it is indeed very difficult to explain the difference if you don't have the meaning of explanation. And these terms are just linguistic terms which you use to explain certain things. It is possible that you don't need them in your everyday life or everyday work, because this is professional terms. But you might use it if you work as a linguist. You'll probably have to use them. So you have to know the difference, and you have to know how to prove that this difference exists. Because when you take 2 native speakers and ask them, this is a very, very common thing for studying modern languages. When you take native speakers and ask them languages, well, give them sentences and ask them if this sentence is possible or not. And normally they would say, no, I would not say that. Or they might say, maybe, I'm not sure. I would understand what it means, but I wouldn't say that. Yeah. Or a native speaker might say, yes, this sentence is good. So those usually 3 types of answering a question if the sentence is correct or not correct. Yes, no, maybe. Yeah. And if you take 2 native speakers, it is very frequent that they give different answers on the question, is this correct or not correct? Because it depends on everything, their style of life, their dialect, their experience, their family, everything, right?
Yeah.
And we cannot study language only with 1 or 2 people. Well, if we're not studying this particular idiom. When we study a language, we go through a lot of natural speakers. We check them all. Well, in modern languages, in studying modern languages, it is a very common well, part of profession when you run certain tests, list of sentences, correct, incorrect, maybe, correct, incorrect, maybe, through as many participants as possible. And then you get the statistics. And then you see if it is a mistake or in the current state of language, it is not.
So I guess why is the terminology correct and incorrect instead of, it seems to me like the terminology makes more sense to use say something that sounds native or non-native, because the essence is how do people whose lives are formed by the language use it to express what's going on in the world and themselves. So they're native. So why don't linguists use the term that sounds native, or that doesn't sound very native? Is that uh
Uh,
A native also can be wrong.
but in the way that it's
uh,
being described over statistics of lots of language use.
uh, okay. Uh, well, I'm staying here because I think it is important that we understand each other, right?
Yeah.
Well, again, we have statistics. In
Hmm.
linguistics, we work with statistics.
Hmm.
Uh, what is a language? Again, the language is a cloud. Uh, we have different idioms, different people. Yeah, those five people uh, speak each their idioms. It's called idioms, a language of a person. And
Hmm.
each of us got its own idiom. My husband and I speak the same language from birth, but still we have words that I use and he doesn't. Uh, just because it's my idiom that was formed in my family. We've got our family words, we've got our family meanings, we've got some words that I caught from, I don't know, books, and he didn't. Yeah, so
Hmm.
our idioms are different, but they're very, very close. And several idioms, well, some certain like groups of idioms form an accent,
Hmm.
right? And then we have several those groups, and we get a dialect,
Hmm.
right? And we have those dialects, and sometimes they interlap, yeah, and
Hmm.
sometimes they go outside the language with bilinguals. And this is how language works.
Hmm.
So, when we discuss what's good, what is bad in a language, as a language, we cannot rely on a native sense of language. We can rely on statistics only. And that's what we do with corpus linguistics. Corpus linguistics takes a lot of texts from all over the world. Do we have Azaka?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Ooh,
Yeah,
interruption.
absolutely.
We are back in 10 minutes.
Hopefully.
Mhm. recording. I stopped for Asaka. Okay, we were talking about telic versus atelic events. Telic, again, for things, for verbs that have natural endpoint, like going to the beach, you come to the beach, it naturally ends. Eating a sandwich, you've eaten a sandwich and it naturally ends. And atelic, you can continue doing it more or less eternally. Well, if you're sinning eternally, your neighbors would kill you, of course, and that would be telic. But it's not that the action itself's got its natural endpoint, right? You can sing and sing and sing and sing. Same with walk. And normally this is the difference between going to a certain point. You walk, you just walk. You walk in the park for 4 hours, for example. So in adverbials for telic, for adverbials, one moment. For adverbials for atelic. I'll think about examples in Greek, okay? I just need to think which would express it better than he wrote a book. Let's talk Greek there, okay? We just don't have enough time. Right. And I would want to, again, concentrate on the idea that telicity is a property of the whole verb phrase. VP is verb phrase, not just the verb. Because we can eat ice cream eternally until we die. But if we eat a certain piece of ice cream, that piece would be ended soon. So it's telic. To eat ice cream is atelic. To eat a bowl of ice cream is telic. You can eat this bowl of ice cream in an hour, in a minute, in 2 minutes, in 10 minutes, and you can eat ice cream for 10 minutes. So that's how it works. I'll think about examples. Let's say, do we have questions here about telic and atelic beside the nuances of verbal usage and examples?
No.
Probably not. Okay. Last thing I really need to say to finish this topic. The third feature here is durativity. We have also durativity. Yeah, it's a semantic feature plus dur. Yeah. And this is about durative situations extend over time. non-durative, punctiliar are construed as instantaneous. They happened at a certain point. Okay, and italic, durative helps us build 5 situation types, which will be discussed in the next lesson. Because we do not have time, right? I can go on event like eternally, but I think it should be italic.
I need to I said earlier that I can do the class on Wednesday, but I reviewed my schedule and I have a class that sometimes meets on Wednesdays and it does meet on this Wednesday. So I have class at 9 a.m. on every single day of the week. So I am free at certain times on other days, but I am not free um, at at 9 a.m. any other day of the
We,
week this
we
week.
can move the class to say 11.
Yeah. If we do it, if we have class at 11, I think I could do it.
Walter, what would you say? Sam?
If it is at 11, I only free Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, not Tuesday, Thursday. If it's at 11.
Okay, Wednesday 11 for you too. Does it work?
Works.
It works.
No,
No.
Wednesday is no, I can do I know it's not ideal, but I can do Friday at